Today I'm attempting to recreate one of the most iconic burgers from the world's most recognisable fast food chain, the Big Mac. I've never tried making one at home before, so I'm curious to see just how close I can get to the original. From the famous sauce right down to the unusual free bun construction, and I'll be making everything from scratch where I can. The full recipe will be in the description, so let's see if we can actually pull this off. I'm starting with what I think is the most important part, the Big Mac sauce. Into a bowl goes mayonnaise, sweet pickle relish, Dijon mustard, paprika, sugar, onion powder, beef stock, and garlic granules, with a little bit of salt and pepper. Give everything a good mix until it's nice and consistent. And honestly, already this smells incredible. I haven't made this sauce before, but I can see why it's such an important part of the burger. It's got that sweet, tangy flavour which I absolutely love. I'll put that to one side whilst we prepare the rest. For the toppings, we need some pickles. I'm slicing into thin discs. I know I could have gone to the shop and got some pre-sliced ones, but for some reason I always feel that whole gherkins just seem to taste better, they have a better crunch. I'm not sure if that's just me. Next is the iceberg lettuce, which I'm chopping into thin ribbons to mimic the classic McDonald's vibe. Then some finely diced onions. And of course a few slices of American style cheese. Pretty simple so far. Now onto the part I'm most curious about, the beef. For the beef, I'm using lean beef mince and keeping the seasoning really simple, just with a pinch of salt and pepper. Now, this is interesting, something I discovered whilst researching. Well, when I think of McDonald's or fast food, I automatically think heavily processed ingredients, but the beef patties at McDonald's are simply made of 100% beef without any additional binders or fillers. That really surprised me. So I'm hoping that keeping things simple will get us even closer to the original taste. I form the mince into large meatballs and flatten them into thin patties. I actually bought this meat press from Amazon, which does come in handy later, but for now I'm just using my hands, which turned out to be much simpler. Now we need to tackle the iconic Big Mac bun. I searched everywhere for the proper 3-part buns, but unfortunately they're not something you can really buy in the shops, so I'm improvising. I'm taking a regular bottom bun and carefully slicing off the crust to create our middle section. And honestly, it doesn't look too bad. Now for the fun part. I'm getting the pan nice and hot with just a little coating of oil, and then in go our flat patties. That sizzle is exactly what I was hoping for. I'm pressing them down with the weight to help keep them nice and thin and hopefully develop a good crust. After a few minutes I flip them and put the weight back on until they're finished cooking. And I have to say I'm genuinely surprised at how well this is working. They actually look incredibly close to McDonald's patties. Now for the moment of truth, we can start to assemble our burger, and I'll be doing this in the exact same order as the Big Mac. Now for something like a scene out of SpongeBob SquarePants, we want to start with the bottom bun, then sauce, lettuce, onion, cheese, the first beef patty, then the middle bun, more sauce, more lettuce, more onion, pickles, another beef patty, and finally the top bun. And there we have it, our homemade Big Mac. It's definitely a little bit taller than the original. I definitely could have thinned the middle bun a bit more, but honestly I'm pretty impressed with how it looks. But after all that, this thing tasted ridiculously good. The sauce has that familiar Big Mac flavour, the beef is simple but really tasty, and using fresh ingredients throughout, it makes such a big difference here, more than I expected. I've also served it with some of my favourite Maris Piper chips, because apparently making a Big Mac at home wasn't good enough of a challenge. But the biggest surprise for me was just how straightforward the whole thing actually was. No complicated techniques, no strange ingredients. The beef is just very simple, which I like. I honestly didn't expect to get this close to the original, but would I make it again? Absolutely. And I think making burgers this way is going to be the way forward for me. But thank you so much for watching. I had a blast making this video.